Happy Hanukkah, everyone! I have a story for you today about a very brave little girl called Jodie's Hanukkah Dig. It's by Anna Levine and with illustrations by Ksenia Topaz. Jodie dreamed of being a famous archaeologist. She wanted to travel to far-off places, discover ancient lands, and uncover treasures hidden deep inside the earth, just like her dad. "You're too little," said her older brother Shimi. "Archaeologists use big tools. You're not strong enough," said her older brother Eli. "Archaeologists carry heavy loads of dirt." Wonder how that felt to hear. "Maybe when you're older," said her mother, who was busy packing the boys' bags. It was Hanukkah vacation, and they were going on a camping trip. "Shimi, where's your other shoe?" "Buried inside the closet, maybe?" he answered. Jodie crawled into the dark, dusty depths of Shimi's closet. "You found it," she said. "You do have keen eyesight," said Mother. "Stay here and keep an eye on your dad while I drive the boys to camp." Jodie found her father in his study with a pile of papers. "Daddy, can you take me to see the ruins at Pompeii?" "Those are in Italy. That's far away. Why don't you read a book about them instead?" Jodie sighed. "How will I ever be a famous archaeologist if I never get to go on a dig? It's not enough to read about it. I want to feel the shovel in my hand, the sun on my head, and the—" "Spiders?" asked Dad. "Archaeologists aren't afraid of spiders," said Jodie. "Tell you what," said Dad. "I can't take you to Pompeii, but Professor Hoffer is digging at the site where Judah Maccabee fought against the Syrians. He wants to show what they found. Let's go today." Jodie ran to pack up the car with shovels, pails, water bottles, and a snack. Getting ready to go. Dad drove out of their neighborhood in Jerusalem, down the hill, under the overpass, and all the way to Modi'in. He parked the car beside the sign that said, "Diggers this way. Watch your step. Slip, and you may fall back in time." "Maybe I'll find Judah's sword or uncover a secret passage," Jodie said. She pointed to a group of people standing on a hill. "Look, Dad, they must be the diggers." Jodie and her dad climbed up the hill until they found Professor Hoffer, a tall man with a big, broad shoulders and a green floppy hat. He waved them over. "This is my daughter Jodie," said Dad. "She wants to be an archaeologist. We're here to see what you found." "A very unusual hole," said the professor. Tossing off his hat, he stuck his head inside the hole. He wiggled one shoulder and then tried to wiggle in the other. He shrieked. "What did he say?" asked Jodie. "I think he means that we should pull him out," said Dad. Uh-oh, looks like he got stuck. Once Professor Hoffer was right side up, he said, "It looks as if this might be very interesting, but I can't get in far enough to know for sure. The hole is very narrow, and the light doesn't reach, but if we dig a bigger hole, it might cave in." While the professor and Jodie's dad thought about what to do next, Jodie wandered over to the volunteers. The line of diggers, passing pails of dirt, snaked all the way around the hill. "Would you like to join the bucket brigade?" one of them asked. Jodie picked up a shovel and started to dig. The sun burned fiercely. The dirt kept piling up. Each shovelful felt heavier than the one before. "Archaeology is very hard work," Jodie said to herself. Looks like she's getting tired. She stopped to take a break and walked back to her dad and Professor Hoffer. "If only I were younger, a bit smaller, and my eyes were sharper," said the professor. "Then I could see inside the hole." That gave Jodie an idea. She tapped him on the shoulder. "Excuse me, Professor. I know of an archaeologist who is younger, smaller, and has very sharp eyes." "And who might that be?" he asked. "Me," said Jodie. "You're too small to be on a dig," he answered. "I'm small enough to fit in a bucket, so you can lower me into the hole. I can be your eyes. My dad has taught me all about archaeology," she persisted. "I'll know if I see something important." "I don't know," said the professor. "Let's give her a chance," said Dad. Are they going to let her try? Jodie climbed inside the bucket. Before they could change their minds, the professor strapped a rope around her waist to keep her safe. He gave her a flashlight and said, "I hope you're not afraid of spiders." Spiders? Archaeologists aren't afraid of spiders. There she goes. Slowly, they lowered her into the hole. As the bucket bumped and swayed, the air got damper and everything turned darker. Jodie's flashlight did little to light up the cave. "I'm not afraid of the dark," Jodie reminded herself. The musty air made her sneeze. The sound echoed off the walls, and "I'm not afraid of bad smells and loud sounds." Something pushed against her arm. She swept it away and swallowed her shriek. "And I'm not afraid of spiders." I wonder if maybe she's just a little bit afraid, right? It's okay to be afraid. Jodie's bucket landed with a bump. The cave was cool and quiet. Flashing her light, first left, then right, she decided it was safe enough to step out. "What do you see?" the professor called down to her. Jodie brushed her fingers against the walls. "The sides are soft and the color of vanilla ice cream, limestone or chalk, just as I thought," said the professor. "It looks like someone has dug out an alleyway," Jodie continued. "I think I can crawl through here." "Not this time," said Dad. "We're going to bring you back up." "But I think I found something." "Back in the bucket, please," said the professor. They tugged on the bucket and Jodie leapt inside. I wonder what she found. "Tell us what you saw," said the professor as they helped her out. "It looks like a maze of underground passageways," she reported. "So there must be another entrance further on," said the professor. "Anything else?" Jodie opened her tightly clenched fist. "And this," she said, holding out her hand. "We can't see what she has," said the students who were gathering around. Professor Hoffer hoisted Jodie up on his tall, broad shoulders. "An arrowhead," shouted one. "From the time of Judah Maccabee?" asked another. "Could be," said the professor. "How do you think the Maccabees got all the way down there?" Jodie smiled. "They must have been nimble enough to crawl through tiny passageways, brave enough to not be afraid of the dark, and strong enough to fight off all the people who thought they were too little to win." "Just like my Jodie," said Dad. How do you think she's feeling now? They said goodbye to Professor Hoffer, walked back down the hill, drove over the underpass and all the way back to Jerusalem, where Mother was waiting for them to light the Hanukkah candles. That's the end. I hope you like that story, and I hope you have a wonderful Hanukkah.